What's going on, Giants fans? Welcome back to Blue and Bold. And Giants lose in an overtime thriller versus the Dallas Cowboys and ended off with a game-winning field goal by Brandon Aubrey. And honestly, I'm surprised on how this game even ended anyway. We scored 37 points to Cowboys 40. Obviously, it wasn't enough. You know, I thought we were going to win by Russell Wilson's deep ball with Malik Neighbors with 30 seconds left on the clock. But as we saw from week one, Shane Bowen is clearly not qualified for this job. I believe he should be fired. Um, with they only needed maybe 20 yards. They got that in at least like in less than 2 plays. They got the field goal to go to overtime, and we already knew how it went from there. We did not answer the call. So let's just get into it. Russell Wilson had an amazing game today. Threw for 450 yards, 3 TDs, but he had a costly interception in overtime. I believe he just lofted it up there. One of his anticipated moon balls and the double coverage from Lake Neighbors, and it was off him by maybe like 5 yards and an easy catch for the safety over top. And he had a costly fumble, which led maybe like I think it was a 15-yard loss in overtime as well. I think which led to that interception, or maybe it was the drive after. I'm not sure. I didn't watch the game. I was forced to listen to it because I was at work. So then I watched the highlights after. I couldn't get play by play. I don't have a real good memory of that. But yeah, Russell Wilson played really good in regulation. Overtime, not so much. But you can't really ask more of Russell Wilson in regulation. You can't have a much better performance than that. Alongside his receivers that he was throwing to, Malik Neighbors and Wanda Robinson had amazing games today. 9 receptions, 167 yards, 2 TDs for Neighbors, 8 receptions, 142 yards, and a TD for Wandale Robinson. Both were just outstanding today. Darius Slayton, I believe he only got 1 catch for 51 yards. That was a good one, but at the same time, he's not getting the value that I thought. He's not getting the targets or volume that I thought he would be getting. But it's obviously we have 15 more weeks, so he has all the time in the world to do that. But we got to give him more. We have to give him the ball more. But still, 37 points. We were doing something right. Cam Scatterboo had an impressive 29-yard run, which led to his 1-yard TD, led to his first TD in the NFL, and many more to come from there. I just know he should be getting more playing time. I'm not saying getting more playing time over Tyrone Tracy, because Tyrone Tracy had, a fairly decent game from what he was given from the offensive line, and I know he had an impressive run which got called back from a flag, but they should at least doing maybe a 60-40 or a 50-50. They gotta be getting more playing time. I believe Scatterboo got more reps than Tyrone Tracy today, and it should be going on more. One of the losers of this game, James Hudson, the backup left tackle that is replacing Andrew Thomas for the time being. Just ridiculous. I mean, he's a complete idiot. 5 different penalties on the opening drive of the game. Obviously, after that happened, Brian Dable was forced to take him out, and I'm glad he had some nerve to do that, because obviously we're not going to keep him for the whole game. I don't know why James Hudson. I don't even know why we even paid him that much. I said it in videos before. 2 years, 12 mil, just absolutely not worth it. You could get a practice squad player. He can basically do the same, but just not as much penalties, I guess. But his replacement, Marcus Bowe, the 5th-round pick, he replaced him the drive after, played the entire game, and did awesome. I mean, we saw him play in the preseason. He did really well, and he continued to do that in the regular season. So I believe he solidified that swing tackle position. I believe he deserved over James Hudson. I believe everybody else thinks that he deserved it over James Hudson. James Hudson should be the 3rd-string left tackle. If anything, I would have cut him tomorrow, but we're forced not to because of the contract that we gave him. And obviously, Marcus Bowe should be replacing James Hudson for that, or he should be the starting tackle until Andrew Thomas comes back. And when Andrew Thomas does come back, don't be scared to put him in the starting lineup somewhere else, because the interior offensive line needs some work, and we know he could play on the inside. We know he could play some center. So we'll just see what happens when Andrew Thomas comes back. I believe Andrew Thomas should be coming back maybe week 4. But we'll see. He will make it. Obviously, we know he's coming back from that foot injury, but that's obviously an up and down. He could be returning possibly later in the season. We don't know. It's going to be tricky for him. It's just whenever he feels like he's ready to play. But I feel like I'm confident in Marcus Bowe and taking in that spot. So I'm glad that we have value in that 5th-round pick, Marcus Bowe, and I believe he will be somewhere in a part of this future of this team, whether it's at swing tackle or whether it's in a starting lineup. But I believe he was a really good pick by Joe Shane. Moving on to the defense, we have Brian Burns with getting his third sack of the season. He was all over the field today. He got multiple TFLs. I believe he got a pass deflection and a sack. He's on 3 sacks for the year in only 2 games. And obviously reports were coming out that Brian Burns looked like a totally different player in training camp. And that is showing, obviously, in regular season. You know, we had 2 sacks versus the Commanders and 1 sack today. So, obviously, we want to keep that going. And let's see how the season turns out for him. I believe he's on pace for maybe like over 17 sacks or something like that, something crazy. Andrew Phillips had a good game. Obviously, he had that one penalty where he body slammed CeeDee Lamb. That was kind of a stupid move. But at the same time, that shouldn't be called in the first place because it's football. I mean, but obviously the league has gone soft since we grew up in time. And obviously the culprit of this loss, Shane Bowen, he, with the talent that we have on this defense, he allows 37 points, and costly ones at that. And obviously he allows the yardage that we need to stop for them to get the tying and the game-winning field goal. If it was up to me, I'd fire Shane Bowen tomorrow, but obviously I don't think we're gonna do that. Or at least I don't think Brian Dable will do that. But yeah, just heartbreaking loss, real bad loss. And that's like there's nothing much to take from that. Over offense was gelling. I know the offense was coming in with fire, with fight, with heart. It wasn't enough. Whenever the defense does well, our offense is trash. Whenever our offense does well, our defense they can't stop a nosebleed for anything. So obviously the penalties didn't help either. We got 14 penalties, 5 of them being James Hudson. I'm glad he should be cut from the team. He's not a starting left tackle. He's not even a bench left tackle. He's probably not even a 4-string left tackle. He should be out of the practice squad, out of everything. 14 penalties for 160 yards. Obviously, the team was undisciplined today. But yeah, penalties kill us. The refs killed us. I'm not saying the refs were the reason why we lost this game, because they weren't. We had multiple chances to win this game by ourselves. We didn't. So, yeah, just tough loss. We move on to week 3 versus the Kansas City Chiefs, which I'm actually more confident we could win that game. I'm not saying we will, but I'm more confident in this offense, and hopefully the defense could wake up because we're going to need them to. But without that being said, as we move on to week 3, if you guys like this video, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. It'll all be really appreciated, and I'll see you guys week 3. Let's go Big Blue.